Hi guys, I am Mrs. M and today we are going to discuss on physical and chemical properties of matter in chapter 2.1. Most of the times students get confused with what to pick for physical property and what example to pick for chemical property. So a lot of confusion generally they do get. So I just want to clarify with the help of this video. So what is a physical property? A physical property is a quality or a condition of a sample that can be observed or measured without changing the substance's composition. A physical property is nothing but it's a characteristic feature of the matter without changing its chemical identity. So the measurement of this property can change the arrangement of the matter in the sample, but not the structure of its molecules. That means, in other words, a physical property might involve a physical change, but not a chemical change. So some of the examples of physical properties are hardness of the substance, color of the substance, state of matter, boiling and melting point, density, conductivity, magnetism, ductility, malleability. So when it comes to ductility, it's the ability to make the substances into wires, like duct-like. And malleability is nothing but ability to hammer into thin sheets without breaking. So if you go for some examples, let's take chlorine, bromine, and iodine. All the three of them belongs to same group, halogen group. They have the similar chemical properties. But when you observe, chlorine is a gas, which is a greenish yellow color. Bromine is a liquid, which is reddish brown in color. Iodine is solid with purplish black. So we could easily identify by means of their color and by means of their state of the matter. So another example, let's take aluminum and copper. They have some properties in common, but there are some distinctive differences also there besides their color. Aluminum is highly reflective and it's often used in silver paint. And copper is a good conductor of heat or electric current. Pure copper is so hard that it can scratch the surface of aluminum. And if you see, both copper and aluminum are malleable. That means they can be hammered into sheets without breaking. So let's move on to the chemical property. A chemical property is a characteristic behavior of a substance that is observed only when it is participating in the chemical reaction. So these properties are seen either during or following a reaction, since the arrangement of the molecules in that sample should be disturbed for the property to investigate. So that means it is different from the physical property which is observed without changing its chemical identity of the specimen. So chemical property describes how a substance interacts with other substances when it is producing the new substances. Some of the examples, if you take it for chemical properties, flammability, toxicity, acidity, basicity, radioactivity, chemical stability, heat of combustion are some of the examples. So chemical properties are being used to establish chemical classifications so that they are used in labels for the containers and storage area. You must have seen some of the sample chemicals. They may be having some symbols for flammable or radioactive material or toxic or corrosive, etc. So these are all based on their chemical properties. These labels have been made. Now, what's the purpose of these chemical properties? These are very good, useful for the material sciences. So their characteristics help scientists to classify samples, identify unknown materials, and purify the substances. So knowing the properties can easily help chemists to make predictions about the type of reaction that is going to be happen for them. Okay, so now let's say that I have got two samples. One is water and one is ethyl alcohol. So how do I identify these two samples, which are both of them are colorless? So what properties can I make for judging their identity? So if you see ethanol is a flammable solvent, whereas water is not. Then if you check the boiling point, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, whereas ethanol boils at 78.5 Celsius. So by using these physical and chemical properties, we can easily identify the unknown substances or unknown samples. So let's compare another two samples, glass and copper. Glass is often used for making the windows. Copper is used for electrical wires. Why are we using the glass for the windows? What properties of the glass making it as a desirable material for that? So if you go for the glass, it is transparent, so it can be seen through. It is hard, so it can be in place within window frames. And it is heat resistant, so it prevents the transfer of heat between inside and outside. Then copper, on the contrary, it is used in the electrical wires. Why? Because it is having the high conductivity property, electrical conductivity property. So let's summarize these particular properties of matter. So whenever we are observing the properties of the matter, then if you have to question, are these properties are determined without changing the identity of the substance? If the answer is yes, then it comes under physical property. If the answer is no, then it comes under chemical properties. Then in chemical properties, how does the substance react in the presence of air, acid, base, water, and other chemicals? Then we can identify accordingly what category it can come. In physical property, then does the property depends on the amount of the substance? If answer is yes, then it comes under extensive property. If answer is no, then it comes under intensive property. Some of the examples of intensive property is color, melting point, boiling point, density. And some of the extensive property examples are mass, volume, length, shape, etc. Okay guys, I think we are done with this. So I hope you understood the concept. So at the end, try to answer these questions. It's a checkpoint. And see you in the next video, physical and chemical changes.